Okay, so now we're going to go a little nuts and we're going to say this skull is going to be made out of steel with scratches and stuff like that. What do we need to do to kind of put that into place and then add the normal map together? Okay, so we can go both ways. We can have this as the outcome or we can have that as the outcome. It's very important. Alright, without further ado, let's go in here to, well, first we need steel. We need to be able to paint it. So if you go to paint, we have a diffuse, and the diffuse right now is just this white. Okay, I want to add another one here. Diffuse. And I turn this one off, the OCC. Also, I want to turn off the normal map. I find if I paint with the normal map on, it's very confusing. Alright, now I don't know if there's a steel in here, so what I'm going to do is show you another place you can get some stuff. And you can go into Mudbox Community. We can go to Gallery. Oop, not Gallery, but down here below we got Library. And we have stamps. So I think a stamp would be in order. And we'll go to Metal. Okay. And we'll just page down, and we have all kinds of different metal. We got some rust. Here's some gauze. Let's be a little bit more specific for it. Steel. Nothing. So when it doesn't have anything, that's where you have to make something, right? That's how it works. And if we had a steel stamp, which I don't think there is a steel stamp. Funny how I pick steel, huh? Right? We would have to go pick or make that. So let's go to Scratch Metal. Images. And let's go into the search tools. Drop down size, go to larger than, and choose like 6 megapixels. Alright, now we're going to pick something like this one right here. And there's another one right here that looks pretty good too. So we'll choose that one. I like this. Okay, we'll go in here and choose the larger one. It's kind of pixelated, so let's go back. Go to this one again. This one's not pixelated. I don't like the color of it. We'll change the color in Photoshop. So right click, copy image, go to Photoshop, and then in Photoshop we're just going to edit, file new, paste that as a new image. So file new. Hit OK. And then edit paste. There we go. So this needs some color correction to it. And to do that I'm just going to go into adjustments and go to hue saturation. I'll knock down the saturation level, turn up the contrast, and then I'll go into the levels, and I'll see if I can adjust this so it's a little bit shinier. There we go. I like that better. Okay, now I just need a square of this. Hold Shift to make that happen. And I'll do this. Image, crop. Alright, that's all I need. I could take the time to make it into a circle, but really my my fall off can dictate that. So I'll put this right into the folder to keep it nice and safe. This is going to be the C drive, users, admin, Dropbox. Oh, I love Dropbox, by the way. Great addition to the workflow, especially if you have two computers, like one upstairs, one downstairs. Alright, so there we go, Skull Steel. Okay, in here, I'm just going to go to Stamp, and I'll click this, Add Stamp. The only thing I don't like is sometimes some programs don't like to export it, and it doesn't have this fancy link like this one. So Mudbox is great for importing, but other programs, you have to kind of dig for it to look for the link for it. And that's not it either. Alright, so I have to save it as a TIFF. My bad. So save as. Let's save as TIFF. And I'll use this. There we go. And there's Skull Steel. Okay, so now I have that. It's right here. And I'm just going to paint with this. I'm not going to actually use any of the sculpt. So there's a paintbrush. I'll use this as the stamp. And I want to randomize it and make it go around in circles only. The stamp spacing, I want almost like 90%. And for the fall off, I like having the fall off like this. That way it has a very steep fall off, and we'll check that out. So this is my new paint layer. We're just dusting it with this cool and this takes a little bit of time depending, but it's because of that fall off that I put. It's such a harsh fall off, but again it allows it to blend, and that's what's really nice about it. Now as you can see, if I change the fall off value, see how sure it takes half the time, but you might have to dust over it with the other fall off at the end. I think I'll do that. So I'll do it real harsh and then maybe dust over the top of it in the end. And another thing is I'll get it probably pretty well covered and then take off mirroring so it doesn't look so manufactured. Just make sure you get all the cracks and crevices. Go over it a couple times. Okay, cool. Now, let me turn that down to the other fall off and hit it every once in a while and take off my mirroring. And I can use a bigger brush if I want. I'll just hit it from here time to time. See how it knocks down the pattern. Cool. So now I have that dusted with it. What I need now is a normal map that supports this. Okay, so to do that, what I do is I'll make a new layer and I'll call it bump. Hit OK. And then what I'll do is take this bump map. What I need to do is bring this layer down to it. So I'll duplicate this layer, drag it down to bump, take this one and delete it. This is my empty one. And then right click on it and say normal map from bump. Okay. Now I'll destroy my bump map altogether. And I have my normal map. And you're like, wow, that's horrible. But what happens is you can turn it way down. And I only need it about right here. Okay? Just, this is my surface. Very light stuff. And then when I add it to my other one, you can see this amazing amount of detail. So that's how you make a material that's just a god-awful version of detail onto it based upon texture and add the two normal maps together. So this is just an option video for those students that want to like go above and beyond. I have another video that I want to cover, and that's for specularity. So we've covered diffuse, we've covered normal mapping, we've covered addition of normal mapping. Now let's look at specularity in the next video.